Show yourself and I will kill you!
I wish you could.
So, what are your thoughts about BGS?
So, I love the show. I love like the fans are so enthusiastic about the game, and everyone I meet is so happy about Shadow of Mordor and is thanking me for it. So it's really fun to be here. The other thing is, you know, Brazil has been a growing market for us, a really important market for us in the game industry, and so we're making sure to localize and dub all the voice in Brazilian Portuguese from now on. So like even Shadow of Mordor, you know, when you get your hands on it, it has full Brazilian Portuguese voices and talent, and I'm hearing great things about it. I can't really judge, you know, like I know we go through Warner and we cast, like we try to get the best cast possible, but I'm getting great feedback, and so I hope we're doing fans down here a great service, and everyone is really just so gracious.
Yeah, I think the Portuguese translations, and it's just a growing market. We fans just love like this. When the game has a Brazilian Portuguese option, I really enjoy listening because it feels like you guys are thinking about us now, etc. And what about the market in Brazilian? We know that we are growing as a market. But how for you producers, how do you feel about Brazil and us?
Yeah, well, I mean, my whole job is to get the game into as many fans' hands as possible. So, you know, that's why I'm down here, and that's why it's so important to me to be here, to really, you know, show up and say, we love you, Brazil, please, like, you know, please like our game. And we made it for all the fans around the world. So, you know, the fact that there's a Brazilian game show and that you guys are nurturing the video game market and inviting us down here, you know, we just want to return the favor and keep the good love going.
Yeah, that's just great. And what about Shadows of Mordor? How you personally feel about this game, the creation? Because you guys created another side of Middle Earth. It's just awesome to see that place.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we wanted to like really dive into a place that hadn't been explored before, which was Mordor. You know, you have this vision of it, which are the cracks of Mount Doom and the ash and the grayness, and you know, but it's really a living place where Sauron is raising an army. There's humans that live there as well. You know, we even go to a place called the Sea of Nirn where there's green plains and, you know, an actual ocean where they're fishing to feed the troops. So, you know, all those aspects we really wanted to explore and give fans of the fiction somewhere to, you know, some new stories to enjoy. But we also wanted to create this new nemesis system that, you know, allows you to meet all these new orcs, and no orc is going to be the same. You know, and that's something that we started from the onset. It's like, you know, when you watch these movies and read the books, every orc has a personality, and we really wanted to capture that. And so, you know, as you go through the game, like the orcs that you meet are going to be totally different than the orcs that are in my game. So, you know, we wanted to bring these two things together and try to make Shadow something special.
Yeah, that's just great. And what about the main character? What can you say about him to us?
Yeah. So the main character is Talion, but he's really a dual character in that, you know, Talion is unfortunately killed at the beginning of our game. When Sauron returns to Mordor, his troops overrun the Black Gates where the men of Gondor are stationed, and they slaughter everyone there, and including Talion and his family in this dark ritual. But just as Talion's about to die, this ritual is calling back a spirit, a wraith, and that wraith is the spirit of the elf Celebrimbor, and that elf like helped forge the rings of power, and that spirit, that wraith, bonds itself to Talion, keeps him on the brink of life and death. And you know, and so as you go through the game, your skills that gives you the power of the shadow. That gives you the ability to look into these enemies' minds, find out their strengths and weaknesses, use that to your advantage. But Talion, you know, and his skills as a ranger, but it also gives us a basis of humanity. Like, he's a human thrown into this awful situation, and, you know, but he has this anchor to this love for his family, this desire to stop the evil of Sauron from growing, you know, as well as getting revenge for the terrible things they've done, you know. But I really feel like that relationship between Celebrimbor and Talion is something new and special in a game, and, you know, it really allows us to explore that relationship, but Talion's humanity is what keeps us anchored to the game.
Oh, that's great. And when in the timeline of Lord of the Rings is this game placed?
Right, so the timeline is between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. There's 40 years there, and we know in those 40 years certain things happened. We know that Sauron returned to Mordor, and he started to grow his army, and that's the army that we're fighting in Lord of the Rings and that you see played out there. We also know that Gollum, after he lost the ring to Bilbo, went searching for it, and he returned to Mordor to look for it. And so we use that as a touch point as well, and you get to meet Gollum, and Gollum actually can see Celebrimbor, and he's one of the only characters in the game that can, and no one can see this wraith except for Talion, but because they've all been touched by the rings of power, and especially the One Ring, you know, that's what bonds Celebrimbor and Gollum, and they're able to actually see each other. So, you know, it's really using those touch points, exploring that time between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, you know, that's what we wanted to explore.
That's just great. Well, here at BGS, I got the first looks besides YouTube, etc.
Yeah.
And just feels great. I'm really looking forward to play with it.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's just awesome. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been great being here, and I hope everyone picks up the game and has a great time with it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.